morning's Business Insight, a look inside a place that we've mentioned over the past year in several Business Courier stories, but that you may not know much about. Centrifuge is a Cincinnati-based organization that brings entrepreneurs together with the resources they need to successfully launch high-growth startups. Its goal is to make Greater Cincinnati a magnet for innovation. Jeff Weidman is the CEO, on loan from P&G. Since Centrifuge opened 6 months ago, he has been working to get investors in the fund, hire staff, and develop the space and over the Rhine, among other duties. Jeff Weidman joins Business Watch's Kelly Leon in the studio today. Kelly and Jeff.
Thanks, Brian. Jeff, thanks for being here.
Oh, my pleasure.
We have done so many stories, it seems, recently on startups, on innovation, on finding resources for small businesses. Why are we seeing so much of this? Centrifuge fits right into this, and we'll get into the details of Centrifuge, but why are we seeing so much of this right now?
Because Cincinnati is a great place for startups. There's tremendous creativity. There's a history of startups and entrepreneurship in Cincinnati, and so it's finally bubbling to the top. Over the last decade, there's been a lot of efforts. You've seen things from like Tri-State 1 and 2, the Cincy Tech, the Queen City Angels. Been a lot of work. And so I think we're now at a tipping point where all of the elements of the community are coming together, the ideas are there, and we just had to fill some gaps, and that's what Centrifuge is here to help do.
So why don't we just wait for the big company to come in and set up a headquarters and start a business here? Well,
I don't know. You guys do the reporting on the big companies and how they move, and I haven't seen a lot of those moving. I think really the health and vitality of an ecosystem and of a community is how well do we have startups? Do we attract startups? Do our kids that are graduating from high school and college, do they have places to work in small businesses? And do we have the environment that allows them to grow? And I think we've got a lot of those resources here in Cincinnati. And so why should we wait for big companies? Let's grow our own and let's attract them.
Sounds good. So, what's Centrifuge's role in this? Give me your elevator speech. Who are you guys?
My elevator speech? I hope it's a big elevator. No, I'm just kidding. Centrifuge is really a collaboration that's come together from the community. It's got the business community, our institutions like UC and Children's Hospital are in. The entrepreneurs have been very, very supportive. We've gotten great help from the chamber and the partnership. It's called How Do We Create an Environment that lets all of these pieces work together. And we got some good consulting help, and we found out there were some gaps. So here's Centrifuge, here's the way I describe it. I need to come up with a good picture, but it's really a three-legged stool. One leg of the stool is access. How do we hook all those different groups together in an efficient way? The second place is space. We've already opened up a temporary space, and I'm running out of room with startups already while we're trying to get our over-the-Rhine location identified and nailed down. And then the third piece, which I know you all have reported on, is our fund of funds. So those three legs are all important to come together.
Fund of funds. Talk to us about that. Sounds good.
What's a fund of funds? A fund of funds is we have a bunch of strategic investors who've put money in, and that money will be used to invest in venture capital funds, which we expect to attract from all over the country and perhaps the globe to come and spend time in Cincinnati so that they can invest in startups. And we think it's going to be a very, very successful model. It's going to be early stage. You know, Cincinnati has some really good players in the seed capital stage. That's that really, you know, if you got an idea and you want to start it, first thing you do, you run up your credit cards, you lean on mom and dad, friends and family, then you go to seed. The Queen City Angels, Cincy Tech have been terrific at generating that seed stage here in Cincinnati. We have family offices that do it. We have high net worth individuals. But what happens when the idea works? How do you grow? And they call that the A stage and the B stage, and that's very tough. And we're going to be focusing on that.
If I'm watching this, I'm at home, and I've got a brilliant idea, I'm thinking, I got to get to Jeff Weidman.
Right.
How does that next step work?
It's terrific. And, you know, we've only been up and running for 6 months, okay? We've got some terrific hires that have come on board to run our fund of funds and our marketing director and our mentoring. But we're going to be running classes in education, and we're going to be increasingly advertising these events, and we're not going to do them all. There's terrific opportunities already. Xavier has their X Games. UC has a wonderful entrepreneurship program. The University of Cincinnati has their research institute that they just formed about 6 months ago. So stay tuned. The marketing director just started this week.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to ask her as soon as I'm done, hey, how are we going to get the word out for the people that are watching the show?
And I do know you have some free classes coming up next week. People should check your website,
Absolutely.
centrifuse.com. We're running out of time, but we want people to check your website, sign up for those free classes. And I'd love to have some of your entrepreneurs back on the program.
We've got some terrific ones.
All right, sounds great. Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much, Jeff.